and welcome to Citation Needed, a podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts. Because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm Heath, and I'll be the Ken Heasy hosting this April Fool's Day journey, and I'm joined by the Merry Pranksters. Noah, a.k.a. Prank Aaron. Tom, a.k.a. Cadillac Escapade. Eli, a.k.a. Ruse Control. And Cecil, something Italian wrapped scallion.
Nice. I hope we do a lot of shit alphabetic.
I think I got the Cadillac because I'm massive and unreliable.
Yeah, and then you're fancy.
Yeah, and the fact that I didn't use Ruse Control as my magician name means the joke will always be on me. Always. I'd be a multimillionaire. I think we should all acknowledge it right now.
As a millionaire magician.
All right, let's get into it. Cecil, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event are we going to be talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about April Fool's Day.
Okay, tell us about April Fool's Day.
For several years on April Fool's Day, we would release some kind of prank show. For instance, one year we released a Jean-Benet Ramsey show where we designed a script so that the show would only run a few minutes and then the recording sounded like it corrupted and then it would repeat over and over for 30 minutes. And we did this so we could prank all those people who would catch on to like a 5-minute episode. And we had an entire sketch show as an April Fool's prank show where we decided that we were going to put the pre-show shenanigans back into the patron episode. Remember that all patrons get that. Mm-hmm. They get the pre-show shenanigans. So become a patron right now at patreon.com/citationpod.
Yeah, because without your money, we will eventually go full Mr. Beast. That's what we're saying, right?
Oh, hell, Eli is going to do that if I don't directly intervene every 108 minutes like that button on Lost.
It's true. It's true.
So when did April Fool's Day prank start? Well, according to Wikipedia people, they think it's because of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. There's a reference to a French poet whose name I can't pronounce.
Goffin Rohunel.
Is that it?
No, I just wanted to make some noises.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Kudos to the wiki editors that have to keep prank facts out of the article on April Fool's Day, by the way. Right?
Yeah. That's rough.
Tireless job that is.
So they quote a writer who suggests that the origin is in the biblical flood. Noah releases a bird to find land on the first day of the month, and it doesn't. So to keep up with that tradition, we supposedly send people on useless errands that day.
Yeah, also bonus points if they drown.
They also list an early prank. In 1698, people were tricked into going to the Tower of London to see lions being washed. Got them.
These lions are getting dirty. They're not getting washed. Fuck this. We got pranked. Fuck.
So, short answer, it doesn't look like there's one definitive link to history that reveals the origin.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Short one this week, and the rest of the show will just be 30 minutes of ad breaks. No, this isn't Dear Old Dads. No, we got more to go.
They list the countries that participate and how they play along. Most of them are pretty similar to how we do it here in the States. We'll tell people something fake, or we'll do some harmless prank like putting a plastic insect in their things or make them open a canister with snakes in it. In Germany, after you trick someone, you shout the month twice, April, April. In Ireland, they have an elaborate postal letter prank where you give them a letter and then they have to give the letter to somebody else. It sounds real boring. In Italy, France, and Belgium, they say April fish, and then they put a paper fish on your back.
Okay, I don't get European humor. Like the joke ends and I'm always like, oh, you're done. Dude, yeah, paper fish. Paper fish. You got him.
I feel like so many people would have been killed playing April Fish by this point if we did this in the States.
Yeah.
Like so many.
Right?
I like the idea of April Fools having a catchphrase, though. We should workshop something for that for America.
In Sweden, the newspapers limit themselves to exactly one main fake story per year. And then they reveal the April Fool's jokes by saying, April, April, you silly herring, I can trick you whenever I want. In the UK, they stop at noon, no afternoon pranking. And if you do one after midday, then you are considered the April Fool.
What? It seems like that doesn't really work. You're just like covered in shit from a bucket propped on a door, and you're like, it's 12:15, you fools. Fucking idiot. I win. I have won. You are the fools.
In New York, there's an annual April Fool's Day parade.
Well, in New York, there's an annual every fucking thing parade, and I got to get to fucking work. Yeah.
The parade features satirical floats and performances that lampoon political figures, celebrities, and current events. Participants often dress in costumes and carry props to embody the year's most notable fools. The event begins at 5th Avenue and 59th Street and proceeds to Washington Square Park, where a king or queen of fools is crowned. The parade has become a platform for public commentary and satire, drawing attention to societal issues through humor and performance art. Good fucking luck this year.
Yeah. Probably best to put a pause on fake news-based pranks this year, given how.
Sure.
Probably.
That's how half of society is operating every day. We might want to pass.
Yeah, like also when a modest proposal has become an actual proposal, there's just,
Really, man.
we're out of things to say.
Yeah,
as it says.
yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
We did it, everybody. Yeah.
We reached the end of satire.
Yeah, there is no
That's how
satire.
Donald and Melania got married. It was a modest proposal.
Many times in the past, people have mistaken real news for April Fool's Day pranks. A lot of these involve sad events like disasters and deaths, so I'm not going to dwell on those. Instead, let's hit some of the more interesting non-death ones. In 2001, people thought it was a hoax when the Netherlands became the first country to legalize same-sex marriage. In 2005, the announcements of an animated series called Powderpuff Girls was dismissed as fake. People also thought that the cancellation of the long-running soap opera Guiding Light couldn't possibly be real. And then there's this one. In 2011, 5'9" point guard Isaiah Thomas, no relation to the Isaiah Thomas from the Detroit Pistons in the 80s, announced he was entering the NBA for the draft, and people assumed someone must be pulling their leg because he was short.
He's down there by the legs.
He's a little guy, small.
All right. Well, normally I'd throw in some kind of prank thing here, but I'm not allowed to do April Fool's Day stuff ever since the incident. We'll be back with more shenanigans that don't involve me after a quick break.
So I think if the press secretary said, "What the fuck are you going to do? We're the king of the world," we just quote her exact.
Okay. Should we censor the fuck though?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Probably for the best.
Okay, so I'll do mine too for the follow-up tweet that she
Good.
sent.
Good. Okay. Last order of business before we go to print. Tomorrow is April 1st.
Okay, so
So we should do a fun, little fake news thing, right? I know. Okay, I know but we just can't ignore April 1st. It's going to be Christmas this year too. You guys going to pretend it's not Christmas because the president started a war with Iran?
No, it's not. It's just, I feel like printing anything untrue at this point.
Like half the country already thinks that everything.
Let's just, but we just keep it fun, right? Something with like, I don't know, like with a brand maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Like I don't know. Something with Mr. Peanut.
yeah. Like we could say he's running for president.
Exactly. Yeah. It's fun. We could do a campaign ad for him or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so the president executed Mr. Peanut.
Yep. Yeah, sure did.
Oh God, do we even know who was in the costume?
No, we do not, Phil. No, we do not.
I don't like my job anymore. I'm telling you, man, claw is law.
Doesn't work.
It's not about if it works. Claw is law.
Thank you, Cecil. Claw is law.
Sorry, do you guys have like some chips or something? I skipped lunch today.
Oh, dude, no sweat. Robbie,
Yes, Master Heath.
can you cook something up for Cecil here?
Oh, of course, Master Heath. Right away.
Sorry, guys, who is this?
Oh, that's Robbie, our house elf.
Like from the Harry...
As told in many versions of fiction, Cecil. Yes.
Robbie doesn't think this is legally defensible.
Quiet, Robbie.
Okay, why? Just got to ask this. Why do you have a house elf? Why
Because
exactly?
it's winter, Cecil, and there's nothing better than coming home to a warm meal. But, who has the time?
Exactly.
Have you guys tried Factor?
What's Factor?
What do we say about points, Robbie?
Oh, points is for master only.
For master only, exactly.
Yep.
Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So eat well without the planning or the cooking or the elf slavery.
I don't know, Cecil. Don't those meals get kind of samey?
Not with Factor. Factor has 100 rotating meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support, and ready-to-eat salads.
Sounds great, but have you actually tried it?
I sure have. Factor sent us a box when they first became a sponsor, and I love how easy it was to have a delicious meal. That's why I, Cecil Something Italian, personally endorse Factor.
All right, Cecil, I'm sold. Where do I sign up?
Head to factormeals.com/citation50off and use the code citation50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. One free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active.
All right. Well, Robbie, looks like we're not going to need you anymore.
No, Robbie is nothing without his master.
Honestly, the vibes of this are so bad.
They really are. How did you like these books, by the way?
I was a child
Were you a child?
at first.
Okay. And we're back. When we left off, the world thought two gay guys getting married in Amsterdam was a hoax because who's the lady? That's crazy. It doesn't even make sense.
Jesus Christ.
What's next?
Okay, so let's talk about some of the listed pranks on the list of April Fool's Day jokes on Wikipedia. In 1957, the BBC ran a story on a current affairs program called Panorama. The story was about a family in southern Switzerland harvesting spaghetti from their orchard of spaghetti trees.
Sure.
The report said that there was a bumper crop of spaghetti this year because the winter was mild and there was a virtual disappearance of the spaghetti weevil.
Well, this is in the Bible.
Pesky spaghetti weevil.
They talked about how the trees were bred and that they could collect the perfect length of spaghetti from them. They got a famous voice broadcaster to narrate the story, and people bought it. Hundreds of people phoned in to ask for more information on their own spaghetti trees and how to cultivate them. And then the BBC responded by saying, place a sprig of spaghetti in a tin of tomato sauce and hope for the best.
And if they don't get them, they'll be like, oh, the spaghetti weevils must have got them.
Yeah, must have got him. Must have got him.
What we're saying is maybe we should have seen Brexit coming. You know
Right.
what I'm saying to you?
Yeah,
Right,
Not
this is
wrong.
so fucking
We
dumb.
did.
Spaghetti trees would obviously be in Italy. Fucking idiots.
I some kid out there whose dad has been asking him if he thinks money grows on trees. Now reconsidering his entire life. I don't know what's real anymore, Dad.
Neither
be
are we,
honest,
kid.
There's
Neither
one thing
way.
I would call in about. I'd want to know the perfect length of spaghetti. I don't know what that is. But if there is one, I need to know.
Hey, it's Heath again. What do you define?
We've got to block that number. He keeps calling.
No, you made a claim. You made a claim. Defend the claim. Stop hanging up on me.
And I switch around my number all the time. Wouldn't even work.
In 1962, the Swedish broadcast television station announced that their technical expert had a method for people at home to watch the broadcast on black and white TVs in color. The broadcast cuts to a technical expert explaining the double slit interference caliente. I think that's called scissoring, actually. All you need to do is get a fine mesh and place it over the screen, and it would bend the light and it would be in color. And all the people needed to do is get a nylon stocking and cut it open and tape it
Amazing.
over the
This is
screen.
great.
And then he made sure to tell the audience that they needed to be in the perfect distance from the TV, sort of move
That's
back and
fantastic.
forth until you find the right spot to align the color spectrum.
Obviously, yeah.
Thousands of viewers later admitted that they fell for the hoax. Many Swedes today report that they remember their parents, their fathers in particular, rushing through the house trying to find nylon stockings to place over the television set.
Yeah, and like thousands of Swedish moms being like, Sven, it's fake. Get off me. Get off me. Idiot. It's fake.
Give me your
April 1st.
vegan.
I feel like maybe somebody on this broadcast owes European humor an apology. That's
Right?
amazing.
Absolutely.
So good.
Oh,
Take it back for the Swedes.
And
So
there's
good.
a fish on your back.
Ah, God. It's the
A
fucking
Swedish
moving back
fish.
and forth part that
yes,
just makes it
yeah, absolutely.
perfect.
That part that
makes it
that's
perfect.
brilliant.
So good. In 1965, there was a prank on viewers on the BBC where a commentator suggested that there was a new technology that was released in TV transmission that allowed for odor to be transmitted via airways with smell-o-vision. They cut some onions and brewed some coffee, and they received messages from viewers at home that they could smell each of these things. In 2007, the BBC didn't want to think of a new joke, so they just used the same one and called it screen sniff technology, which does not roll off the tongue like smell-o-vision.
Stank war.
Stank excursion. Stank excursion.
In 1980, a Boston TV station named WNAC decided to air a montage of Mount St. Helens footage and tell viewers that the local hill was erupting.
Jesus. Hey,
Now
that
this-
was stupid.
Hilarious.
This,
You're all
this
in mortal
wasn't the
danger.
This-
Boston.
this wasn't the big Mount St. Helens explosion footage that would actually happen. That wouldn't actually happen for like a month and a half from then. But they did have minor eruption footage from like a week earlier. And they cobbled that together with tape from the governor and the president talking about other things, but made it look like they were remarking on the eruption. Several people in the area fled their homes. Hundreds of people called the police, and many called the Massachusetts Department of Civil Defense to see if they should evacuate, and the producer was fired.
No, we get the joke, Craig. Stop saying we don't get it. We get it. It's stupid.
Yeah, quick reminder that bomb threats don't count as April Fool's
They do
jokes,
not.
people.
They don't.
Yeah, every AI company right now, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. In 1989, the BBC had a television sports show called The Grandstand, and they scripted a fight to sort of break out between two staff right behind the host, who was commenting at the time about how professional the team was.
Okay.
They waited till the end of the
It's
show to
amazing.
reveal that this was a prank.
It's amazing. They get in a fist fight. It's incredible. You have to watch it.
That's actually, I would have enjoyed that.
In 2008, the BBC also put together a news story that was produced and featured Terry Jones from Monty Python talking about a newly discovered colony of flying penguins. And he was filmed walking among the penguins in Antarctica, and then they computer generated a bunch of flying penguins as the crew filmed their migration.
Okay, look, this probably all seemed like good fun in 1989, but the average person's grip on reality is pretty fucking tenuous. So let's just fucking relax, okay, before Congress gets taken over by adrenochrome hunting. It's too late.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
You got to hit the
Like-
Goldilocks zone to do pranks, and nobody
Really
hits
do.
any Goldilocks
Nobody.
zones ever. Everybody's an idiot.
Never. 1997, Pat Sajak and Alex Trebek switched places on Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and 25 years later, comedic geniuses Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel would do the same thing, switching places for their late night TV shows, those rascals.
Yeah, the fun prank part was that nobody noticed or cared.
Yeah. Okay, so I've never seen the episode, but I can't even imagine Trebek hosting Wheel of Fortune without like visible disdain for the idiocy of everything that's going on.
So they just guess letters like a child.
I'm sorry, Noah. It's what is the idiocy of everything?
Oh, of
about
course,
it?
of course. Be haunted by his ghost tonight. Yeah.
In 1976, a British television astronomer was on the air for BBC Radio 2, and he told listeners that at exactly 9:47 a.m., that Jupiter and Pluto would be in alignment with the Earth.
Do you think he
Listeners
panicked because
at-
he was a TV astronomer on the radio and he
Yeah.
couldn't use his visual bits? I wonder if that's how it's-
Listeners at the exact moment at 9:47 a.m. when Pluto and Jupiter were in alignment could jump in the air and they would experience a strange floating sensation. Well, many people did do that, and the station was inundated with calls after 9:47 with people describing their experiences in lower gravity.
Come on.
Here's a quote. One woman who called in even stated that she and 11 friends had been sitting and they wafted from their chairs and orbited gently around the room, end quote.
Which is great because it turns out the edibles they had just finished weren't shit. So it was actually...
In 1992, two young disc jockeys at WNOR in Virginia claimed that there was a leaking methane from Mount Trashmore Park. Mount Trashmore is a landfill park that is in Virginia Beach. This fake news, of course, scared a lot of listeners. And then Opie and Anthony pulled a similar stunt in 1998 when they stated that Boston Mayor Thomas Menino had been killed.
Hilarious.
I guess
By methane?
no, different death, I guess. But they said it was like in a very sardonic way. That's how Wiki describes it. So people listening at the first part of the broadcast, I guess, would know that they were joking, but the mayor was literally on a flight at the time, so he couldn't be reached. And then they mentioned it multiple times during the broadcast, and people tuning in later didn't know it was a bit and instead thought it was news. And then the people close to him couldn't get in touch with him because he was on a flight. So lots of people were freaking out, and the city had to deny the hoax, and Opie and Anthony were fired because of that.
Okay, but the people close to the mayor would know he was on a plane. So they thought he got like shot during he got like bit by a snake on the motherfucking plane, and then
Snake on a plane.
and they thought the scoop was coming from the journalists Opie and Anthony.
Once again, Opie and Annie are first to break the story.
Right. I feel like the theme of this episode so far is that Boston sucks at April Fool's jokes, right?
NPR Morning Edition. NPR Morning Edition does a hoax story every year, and they don't pretend that somebody died. They done a story about the iBod, which is a product that you can supposedly control your bodily functions like your heart rate, respiration, and cholesterol. They did a story in 2008 that said that tax rebate checks would be replaced with an equivalent value consumer product like an air conditioner.
It's old school Wheel of Fortune.
That's fucking amazing. And then they sometimes will add in fake sponsors like support for NPR comes from the Soylent Corporation, manufacturing protein-rich foods in a variety of colors. Love it. Soylent Green is people.
This year, they're going to reveal that Opheba Quist-Arcton's real name is Jennifer Smith. It's a pretty good one, guys. They're really going to get us.
I'm so mad at Steve Inskeep right now. I can't even show my Morning Edition hemp canvas tote bag at the farmer's market anymore.
In 1993, a San Diego radio station convinced over 1,000 people to drive to a nearby airport because they said the space shuttle had been diverted there. It was a small airport and it was the middle of rush hour. People were disappointed. A radio station in Cork, Red FM, said that U2 would be performing a rooftop concert on a roof of a nearby shopping center. The crowds were met with a U2 tribute band called U2opia.
Yeah, I bet if you're a U2 cover band, like 90% of your bookings are prank plays. They have there's a section of the website.
I feel like that crosses over from April Fool's prank to just lie, though, at that point.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah. In 1906, the Chicago Tribune printed a story that the downtown area had been invaded by hordes of prehistoric creatures. What? I'm going to put the image in the notes here, and I'm going to read the first paragraph. Hordes of gigantic beasts swarmed down from the north and overwhelmed the city, leaving a mass of wreckage, tangled iron, piles of brick and stone, killing thousands of inhabitants.
This is in the newspaper?
Parks turned into deserts. Great skyscrapers leveled by blows from the tails of the monsters. An entire population threatened in panic and pestilence that followed the invasion.
Jesus!
Anyway, that's the fun prank I thought of. So I guess you could say I'm taking my divorce pretty well.
Okay, so I want to point out to the listeners who can't see the image here that the pterodactyls in this picture don't have tails. Right, like that's the subtle clue that this was fake,
so
I
good.
guess.
So good.
And I think their tails were like pretty fucking tiny. They weren't going to knock over
We're going to knock buildings down. Yeah.
Yeah, also the way he talks about Chicago, Trump still believes this is actively happening.
You're right.
In The Guardian in 1977 created a fictional island in the middle of the Indian Ocean and dedicated 7 pages of the newspaper to
Jesus
it.
Christ.
The island was called Sans Serif, which was a commemoration of
That's
its
kinda
10th anniversary of independence. They made up the island, the culture, the economy, a bunch of people, all pun names. The hoax convinced a lot of people that the island existed, but it also had some people playing along. They would send messages that they had a wonderful vacation there. They even received a letter from the governmental opposition party, the Sans Serif Liberation Front, which criticized the piece as pro-government propaganda. And they totally missed by calling it the Sans Serif Liberation. It should be called the Sans Serif Liberation Font. That's stupid.
So good.
Come on.
Disappointing.
Anyway, an editor
Their big
of the
rival
newspaper.
was the Times New Roman Empire.
An editor of the newspaper received complaints from airlines and travel agents because of the disruption caused by customers who refused to believe that the islands did not exist.
Yes, reminding all of us that if you're going to be a gullible jackass, be a confident and entitled gullible jackass.
The best kind.
In 1985, Sports Illustrated wrote a hoax article about Sid Finch, a made-up New York Mets rookie. He only wore one shoe, and on the other foot, he wore a hiking boot. They wrote a backup story about his visit to Tibet to master mind and body, and he could throw a pitch 168 miles an hour. They said they had to make a hard choice.
Henry Rowan.
Yeah. They said he had to make a hard choice between baseball and a career playing the French horn. They recruited a friend, a junior high school art teacher from Oak Park, Illinois, to portray Finch. Quote, Mets fans were overjoyed at their luck at finding such a player and flooded Sports Illustrated with requests for more information. A New York sports page editor complained to the Mets public relations director for allowing Sports Illustrated to break the news. 2 general managers called Commissioner of Baseball Peter Ueberroth about Finch. The St. Petersburg Times sent a reporter to find Finch, and a radio talk show host claimed he saw Finch pitch, end quote.
Okay. Honestly, if you were a Mets fan in 1985, the best thing you could do is go into voluntary psychosis. I think this is
They went 98 and 64 that year, and they won the World Series the next
Yes,
year. What are
right.
you talking about?
It was a solid bet, Eli. Like 2/3 of their seasons, that joke kills, right? But mid-80s, mid to late 80s, not so much.
Yeah.
just fucking yes, and you fucking
Goodman and Strawberry. No, and fuck you.
In 1996, Taco Bell took out a full-page ad in 7 newspapers telling people they bought the Liberty Bell to reduce the country's debt. And the White House press secretary responded that the rights to the Lincoln Memorial were sold and it would now be the Lincoln Mercury Memorial.
Yeah. Nowadays, our government would just do that.
Yeah,
Right.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Eli, seriously, you know that there is a standing weekly meeting with someone from the U.S. Mint who has to re-explain why they can't start minting Bitcoins. Also, there's a 100% chance the U.S. government will begin minting meme coins before 2028.
It's going to be a Dogecoin.
We've already done a good deal of that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's called the dollar. Everybody, fiat currency.
I'll fucking kill you.
In 2010, The Independent said that the Circle Line Metro in the London Underground had been considered for a new location for a satellite particle accelerator for the CERN laboratories.
Jesus Christ.
And in 2016, National Geographic made an announcement that the magazine would no longer publish any photographs of naked animals. I wonder if they got some real angry letters about that. In 2019, DevBeat, a Substack covering Apple and developer news, reported that Apple had quietly registered the trademark Sneery.
Oh my God.
It was beta testing a new personality mode for Siri that would respond to user queries with what the Post described as light sarcasm and gentle condescension. The feature was reportedly opt-in, and Apple's support lines were flooded with requests to join the beta. Apple issued a statement later that day confirming that, quote, Siri was not a real product, though they notably did not rule out the possibility of personality modes in future updates, end quote.
And yet everybody complained when ChatGPT made that one kid kill himself for Daenerys Targaryen. There's no pleasing you people. It's impossible. You're impossible.
And today I learned a lot more people than I would have thought really want Siri to step on their balls.
In 2021, The Guardian UK said that the UN was planning on looking over plans for an alternate canal to the Suez, since that one ship was literally freed a few days earlier from being wedged sideways in the Suez Canal. This one would start just west of Gaza and go straight south until it hit the Gulf of Aqaba, and it was going to be called the Suez 2. Turkish media outlets fell for it and posted the spoof story in their news.
Yeah, no, it feels like the kind of thing everybody's going to have a great sense of humor about. Good call, The Guardian.
Yeah, man. To end this, let me tell you about the prank pulled off by Hotel Web Search Company. This web search company was, they were going to change their name. Their original name was Vibe Agent, and they were going to change it to Hotelicopter. To celebrate, they were announcing the world's first 18-room luxury flying helicopter hotel. They said that this hotel was the first of its kind. Mm-hmm. All rooms had a mini bar, coffee machine, and wireless internet. And I mean, I guess it would have to be wireless in order for it to move.
Cecil put a photograph or artistic rendering of this thing in the notes. It's so stupid. Apparently, they landed an airplane on top of another airplane and just smushed them together.
A shuttle on top of an airplane?
Taped a couple ceiling fans on top.
To me on the bottom.
It does.
I don't know. And then so they put windows in there too. So on the side of it, it's kind of like an apartment building, like a high rise, but not that high. Just 4x4 windows. Based on looking at these rooms are 3 feet tall.
Yes.
And then there's I don't know, 2 other rooms that are nice somewhere, maybe. So anyway, Cecil, if you had to summarize what you've learned in one sentence, what would it be?
One of the things I said in this episode was fake, you silly fucking herring.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, which one do you think it was?
9/11.
All right. And are you ready for the quiz?
I am. Let's do this.
All right, Cecil. News media outlets having a lark with reality on prank day. That's a bad idea. Why? A, because people are fucking stupid. You cannot convince them later that it was just a prank. B, QAnon. C, vaccines cause autism. D,
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
adrenochromes, man.
I'm going to go with secret answer E. I'm going to remain silent so Tom doesn't kill something.
Yeah.
Idea.
Yeah.
Gotta get that colostrum going.
Blood
though.
pressure is so high.
That's gonna heal you on the molecular level.
Raw colostrum.
Can I
Not
take
the
that
cooked
with my
stuff.
ivermectin, or do I have to space them out? I don't.
It doesn't matter because it's molecular.
No,
Tom.
I forgot about the way
So
I was vibrating at
So
a different
true.
energy when I heard you. Yeah,
So true.
sorry.
There you
If
go.
you say molecules, it always wins.
It was
All
quantum.
right, so my question is the one on everybody's mind, of course. What was the fake thing you said, Cecil? Was it A, when you said you were happy to see Eli before we started recording? Was
You
it
said that
B,
wouldn't count.
that time you implied that Swede was funny once?
Jesus Christ.
that was a good one.
C, the New York City April's Fool Day parade actually starts on 57th, not 59th. And people are going to look so stupid when they show up at 57 to 58.
So stupid.
D, that Alex Trebek would debase himself enough to host Wheel of Fortune. Or E, when you said that Noah released a bird from his ark to see where it would land because the biblical flood is nonsense.
Ooh.
It's definitely E.
It is
Absolutely.
E,
Biblical
yeah.
flood is
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Alex Trebek somehow hated Wheel of Fortune when he was on Jeopardy. He wouldn't say it out loud, but he hated it being next to it somehow, just tacitly in
It
his
just made
tone.
his show dumber. Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, Cecil, I'm a bit of a prankster. What's the funniest prank I've ever pulled? A, the roller coaster thing. If you know, you know. B, that time I tricked Heath and his soon-to-be wife into eating an infused dinner and then surprised them with his ex doing a naked dance.
Is there something fucking wrong with you?
What?
Is there something wrong with you?
Or C,
No, you got to answer that B question
No,
first.
okay. Doing the
On
quiz.
B,
You are.
Eli's saying it wrong. Him and my wife tricked me into believing that's not what had happened, but apparently it had happened.
What is happening?
I don't even want to know.
Tom, what the fuck is going
It's
on,
like
man?
Inception. It's a prank within a prank within a prank. Guys,
a
if you
prank
ask
within
more
a prank.
questions, you
Eli,
just trigger
go to
another
therapy,
prank.
Eli.
No.
Yes.
What level are we on? Is it real?
Spin
C.
the top. Find out. Spin the fucking top.
See? At my old job on Ash Wednesday, I would paint a smiley face on my forehead. And then, if people got mad at me, I would say my priest had Parkinson's.
C, because the other ones, I don't know. I don't know about one, but definitely B is
Can
the suspect.
confirm
That's fun.
C is absolutely true. I've
Yep.
seen it.
I've seen him
Yeah.
not only do the thing, but also say the thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Eli,
It was a good time. It was a good time.
you are the victor. C was fantastic and real.
Yeah. All right. I would like a Tom essay next week.
All right. Well, for Tom, Cecil, Noah, and Eli, I'm Heath. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week, and Tom will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can listen to Cognitive Dissonance, The No Rogan Experience, Dear Old Dads, God Awful Movies, The Scathing Atheist, The Skeptocrat, and D&D Minus. And if you'd like to join the ranks of our beloved patrons, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, listen to past episodes, connect with us on social media, or take a look at the show notes, check out citationpod.com.